The golf world was waiting. Saudi Arabia's PIF had just pulled the plug on LIV Golf, $5 billion in losses, the league's future in doubt. And the biggest star of them all, Bryson DeChambeau, was at the center of the storm. Rumors swirled that his representatives had already contacted the PGA Tour about a return, that he was preparing to jump ship, that the $125 million man was looking for an exit. Then he spoke. "It's completely untrue," he said. "I'm working as hard as I can to find a solution. I'm committed to making team golf work in the best way possible. I think there's a place for it in the ecosystem, and I want to continue to grow the game across the world. That's always been our mission, and it's never been more true than now." The statement was clear. Bryson DeChambeau is not running away. He is not looking for the exit door. He is trying to save the league he helped build. But the story does not end there, because at the exact same time, the President of the United States was making his own demands. The bombshell dropped on April 29, 2026. Saudi Arabia's PIF announced it would withdraw its financial backing of LIV Golf after the 2026 season. The blank check that built the Rebel League, more than $5 billion since 2022, had been closed. The timing could not have been worse. LIV was in the middle of its fifth season. The New Orleans event had just been postponed. Players were getting restless, and the biggest question on everyone's mind was simple: who would stay? Who would go? Into this chaos stepped Bryson DeChambeau. The two-time U.S. Open champion is LIV Golf's biggest star. He is the face of the Crushers. He is the player who moves the needle, and his contract expires at the end of this season. Reports had emerged that his representatives had already started talks with PGA Tour executives over a return. The speculation was intense. Fans assumed he was preparing to leave. Then, on May 1st, Bryson responded. Speaking to Flushing at Golf, he addressed the rumors directly. "It's completely untrue," he said. "I'm working as hard as I can to find a solution. I'm committed to making team golf work in the best way possible. I think there's a place for it in the ecosystem, and I want to continue to grow the game across the world. That's always been our mission, and it's never been more true than now." The statement was clear. Bryson DeChambeau is not running away. He is not looking for the exit door. He is trying to save the league he helped build. But the story does not end there, because of the exact same time, the President of the United States was making his own demands.
From the Oval Office, Donald Trump weighed in on the LIV Golf crisis. He was asked whether the PGA Tour should welcome back the defectors who had left for Saudi money. His answer was unambiguous. "Well, I do," Trump said. "I do believe that all of the great golfers should be playing against each other." Then he got specific. He named names. "I want to see Rory playing Bryson DeChambeau," Trump said. "I want to see Big John Rahm playing Scottie Scheffler. They have great players on the LIV, but it's almost like people want to see that. That's why the Masters were so good, because you saw everybody together." The president's comments were more than just casual thoughts. They were a direct challenge to both the PGA Tour and LIV Golf. Trump was saying that the Civil War has gone on too long. The fans want reunification. The sport needs its best players competing against each other every week, not just at the majors. Trump also addressed the question of penalties for returning players. "They may do something, a little bit, but they'll all be back on tour, and it'll be great," he added. "The tour wants to have the best players. You can't have the best players if they're boycotting." The irony was impossible to ignore. Just days earlier, Trump had hosted the Cadillac Championship at his Doral course, where Rory McIlroy was notably absent, and now he was calling for McIlroy to face off against DeChambeau. The president was not just commenting on golf, he was trying to shape its future. But here is where the story gets complicated, because while Bryson is publicly denying any talks with the PGA Tour, other reports were saying something completely different. Golf media personality Trey Wingo made a startling claim on social media. "I can tell you definitively that people from Bryson's camp have reached out to the highest levels of the PGA Tour several times about exploring a path to return, and the same goes for Jon Rahm." Wingo's claim directly contradicts Bryson's statement. If true, it means that while Bryson is saying one thing publicly, his team is doing something else privately. And that would not be surprising. In a time of such uncertainty, it would be irresponsible for any player not to explore every option. LIV's future is in doubt. The PIF is pulling funding. The league is searching for new investors. Any smart player would have a backup plan. Sky Sports golf correspondent added another layer of complexity. For Rahm and DeChambeau in particular, I think it's going to be very interesting to see their pathway back. The offer that was made to them and to Brooks Koepka in January was a one-time offer. That is the key. In January 2026, the PGA Tour offered Bryson DeChambeau, Jon Rahm, and Cameron Smith a path back through the returning member program. All three said no. That door closed on February 2, 2026. If they want to return now, the path is no longer clear. They may face longer suspensions, larger penalties, a more difficult road. Bryson seems to understand this. That is why he is trying so hard to make LIV work. He knows that returning to the PGA Tour is not as simple as Trump makes it sound, and he knows that his best option, for now, is to stay and fight.
To understand why Bryson DeChambeau is so committed to LIV Golf, you have to understand what he is building beyond the golf course. In his interview, he revealed details of a long-term project that has been in the works for months. We're building a bunch of junior golf events right now, and each team is looking to build junior golf academies, DeChambeau said. That's something that we've been working on for almost 3 or 4 months now. We're looking to host an event here coming up, probably in the next, I'd say, couple of months, because we want to do something special by the team championship. This is the language of a man preparing to leave. This is the language of a man investing in the future. Junior academies, youth events, grassroots development. These are long-term commitments. They suggest that Bryson believes LIV Golf will survive and that he will be part of it. He also spoke about his responsibility to the young players who followed him to LIV. It's for Michael Lasasso, it's for Caleb Surratt, it's for Josele Ballester, it's for David Puig. John, Phil, DJ, myself, and the guys that have been here from the start, we're okay. It's now our responsibility to take care of these kids that believe in us. That's why I'm really doing it. These are players in their early 20s, kids who left promising careers on other tours because veterans like Bryson told them LIV was the future. Now that the future is in doubt, Bryson feels a debt of loyalty. He cannot simply walk away and leave them behind. This side of Bryson DeChambeau is rarely seen. The public knows the scientist, the competitor, the man who raged about destroyed grass in Mexico City. But this is something else, a leader, a mentor, a man who takes responsibility for those who believed in him, and that is why his commitment to LIV feels genuine. So what is the truth about Bryson DeChambeau's future? Is he staying with LIV? Is he planning a return to the PGA Tour? Is there a third option? Let me break down 3 possibilities. Possibility 1, he stays with LIV and helps rebuild. In this scenario, LIV finds new investors. The league transitions from a Saudi-funded startup to a privately funded enterprise. Bryson signs a new contract. Not for the $500 million he reportedly sought, but for something that makes sense for the new financial reality. He continues to lead the crushers. He builds the junior academies. He becomes the elder statesman of a leaner, more sustainable LIV Golf. This is what he says he wants. So what is the truth about Bryson DeChambeau's future? Is he staying with LIV? Is he planning a return to the PGA Tour? Is there a third option? Let me break down 3 possibilities. Possibility 1, he stays with LIV and helps rebuild. In this scenario, LIV finds new investors. The league transitions from a Saudi-funded startup to a privately funded enterprise. Bryson signs a new contract. Not for the $500 million he reportedly sought, but for something that makes sense for the new financial reality. He continues to lead the crushers. He builds the junior academies. He becomes the elder statesman of a leaner, more sustainable LIV Golf. This is what he says he wants. Possibility 2, he returns to the PGA Tour. This is the scenario Trump wants. LIV collapses or Bryson chooses to leave. He negotiates a return to the PGA Tour, but the path is not simple. The returning member program deadline has passed. He may face a suspension, financial penalties, or a period of ineligibility, but the PGA Tour has shown flexibility before, and the fans want to see the best players together. If Bryson decides to come back, the tour will find a way. Possibility 3, he becomes something entirely new. This is the wildcard scenario. Bryson has a YouTube channel with over 2 million subscribers. He has a media empire. He could walk away from professional golf entirely and play only the 4 major championships. It would be unprecedented, but Bryson DeChambeau has never cared about precedents. He has always done things his own way, and that might be exactly what he does next. My final take is this. Bryson DeChambeau just responded to the LIV Golf crisis. He said he is committed to making it work. He denied the rumors of PGA Tour talks. He talked about junior academies and young players and long-term plans. But actions speak louder than words, and in the coming weeks and months, we will see whether his commitment is real. Donald Trump wants to see him face Rory McIlroy. The PGA Tour is watching. The fans are waiting. And Bryson DeChambeau is holding all the cards. This is Golfio. If you made it to the end of this video, you care about the real stories behind the game. Subscribe to this channel for more deep dives into the moments that matter. And leave a comment below. Do you believe Bryson will stay with LIV, or is he secretly planning a return to the PGA Tour? I will see you in the next video. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.